As the weather cools down, basketball season is ready to heat up. We're focusing in on the NBA this week. We'll run through some of the big changes in the offseason and take you back to the high school days of some of the game's brightest stars. Future Phenoms starts right now. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Pat Summerall. The NBA season is getting set to tip off. We'll look ahead to the big new year by looking back at the early days of some of the biggest names in the sport. And we'll start right at the top. No player has ever come into the league with as much hype as LeBron James. As the years went by, he amazingly lived up to it. He's been selected to 8 All-Star games, won 3 MVPs, and last year, he silenced all his critics by doing the one thing they said he never would, winning an NBA championship with the Miami Heat. Considering how highly touted he was in high school, his success should be hardly a surprise. Here's a look back at his rise to stardom.
From an early age, people knew that Akron, Ohio's LeBron James was destined for greatness. That's not to say that he didn't have to work hard and overcome obstacles, but with the help of family, friends, and his mother, Gloria, LeBron learned the value of perseverance, effort, and loyalty. While only a handful of high school players had ever made the jump from prep hoops to the NBA successfully, no one doubted that LeBron James could do it. Games against the best players and teams in the nation would start his sophomore year. He would never disappoint. By the time his senior year rolled around, St. Vincent, St. Mary's, his high school quad, was taking on giants like Oak Hill Academy and winning. His moves on the court were unlike any high school player in the country. Cal, Florida, Michigan, Ohio State, North Carolina, and Duke were all fighting to get the services of this 6'8" do-it-all player. But it quickly became apparent that he was more than ready for the NBA. In 2003, the NBA held what most would call the LeBron lottery. Just about everyone agreed that LeBron James would be the first pick. As the ping pong ball surfaced, not a question was left. The Cleveland Cavaliers would select LeBron first of all. LeBron would average 20 points a game his first year in the league. By the 2006-2007 season, the team would experience amazing success, reaching the final. Despite losing, it was obvious to all that the early evaluations of the player known as King James were right on.
As LeBron claimed his first NBA title, he defeated another one of the game's rising stars. Kevin Durant is just 24 years old, but is already one of the game's elite players. He has been the key player in the Oklahoma City Thunder's rise to the top of the NBA. We caught up with Durant a few years ago when he was just getting started as an NBA player.
Basketball success didn't always come easily to Durant. He went to 3 different high schools, including the famed Oak Hill Academy, and it took him a while to make an impression.
I didn't play that much my freshman year. I think I would go 2 points a game. And then my sophomore year, that's when I was inserted to the starting lineup, and that's when people started to recognize who I was. So my whole high school career was kind of up and down as far as moving to different schools, but I'm glad I did it that way.
Durant ended his high school career at Montrose Christian School in Maryland. In fact, he still returns to Montrose to catch up with the current players and Coach Stu Vetter.
I go back every summer to play with the guys and, just talk to them a little bit. So, it's going to be that school helped me out a lot, and, I'm never going to forget that.
One thing Kevin is, a lot of star players aren't. Kevin's a great teammate, and I always emphasize to our players to be good teammates. But if you watch Kevin on the floor, he's always patting his teammates on the back and encouraging his teammates. Even if he's not having a great day, he's still very positive. And I think that's one of the things that makes him a great player.
Following his high school career, Durant was named to the 2006 McDonald's All-America game. At the game in San Diego, Durant exploded on the national stage and took home MVP honors.
It was unbelievable for me, man. Just, all the great players to play before that paved the way for us. So I was very thankful for, just being a part of it, and, just to play in a great place like San Diego along with the great players in that game was fun.
Durant spent just 1 season at the University of Texas, but he will forever be a legend in Austin. School recently retired his number 35 jersey, which will forever hang inside the Frank Irwin Center.
You know, I've been to so many gyms where other great players had their numbers in the rafters, and you know, just to be a part of that group, you know, feels very good. Like I said, I'm very blessed, and you know, every time a player walks into the Irwin Center, they're gonna see number 35 hanging up. So that's a good feeling.
We'll take a break. When we return, we look at the top rookies in the high school game. One NBA star we'll never forget. That's next.
In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Future Phenoms salutes female athletes everywhere. Do your part to raise awareness and funds to help prevent, diagnose, treat, and cure.
Attention, if you have a hip replacement, listen carefully.
If you have a DePuy or any other brand of metal-on-metal hip replacement and it's been removed or it's causing you problems, call the Goldwater Law Firm right now.
Certain hip implants can fail, causing you severe pain. Sometimes the hip implants need to be replaced entirely. Call us right now. You may be entitled to compensation.
Call 800-892-1924. That's 800-892-1924.
A friend told me about Gazelle.com.
They paid me cash for my used iPhone.
Cash I used to get a new one.
I can't believe how simple it was.
I was surprised how much I got.
They even bought my broken iPhone.
And they paid the shipping too.
I got paid fast.
Couldn't have been easier.
So what's your iPhone worth?
What's your iPhone worth?
What's your iPhone worth?
Find out now at Gazelle.
That's Gazelle.com.
Future Phenoms is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer for great deals today or log on to www.buyatoyota.com.
The NBA Rookie of the Year race is the focus of this week's Toyota Top 5. The clear front-runner is number 1 overall pick, Anthony Davis. The National Player of the Year from Kentucky, Davis proved to be a shot-blocking machine as he led Kentucky to the national title. He's a product of Perspectives Charter School in Chicago, where he was relatively unknown until his junior year. That's when he rapidly grew to 6'8", yet still had the quickness of a guard. He proved to be unstoppable in his last 2 years in high school and was named an All-American. He's added several items to his resume since then, including an Olympic gold medal this summer. Now the New Orleans Hornets hope he can be a franchise player for years to come. Here's the rest of our top 5 candidates for Rookie of the Year. Let's head west now, where the Lakers made a big splash in the offseason. The standards for success are always high with the historic Lakers franchise. Any season that does not end with a championship feels like a failure. So the front office made a bold move this offseason by acquiring big man Dwight Howard from the Orlando Magic. They also added Steve Nash to play the point. Laker fans hope those additions can get Kobe Bryant one more championship before he enters the twilight of his career. But in the same town, the Clippers always live in the Lakers' shadow. LA's other team hopes to have the young nucleus together to make a move toward the championship. The star of the show will be point guard Chris Paul. But no matter what Paul does in the NBA, it will be hard to top one special performance he had in high school. It's a story we brought you a few years ago.
Before Chris Paul was a household name, he was just another kid in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, playing basketball in his backyard with his older brother. But Chris Paul's innocent childhood came to an abrupt end. During the fall of his senior year at West Forsyth High School, Paul learned that his grandfather had been murdered outside his home. Chris was devastated by his grandfather's death. So devastated, in fact, that he thought about not playing in his school's basketball game the next day.
Yeah, I thought about it. I thought about not playing, but I knew he would have wanted me to play.
But Chris came up with a way to honor his late grandfather. Nathaniel Jones was 61 years old at the time of his death. So that night, Chris decided to score 61 points, one for every year of his grandfather's life. Chris was unstoppable that night. In the fourth quarter, he was up to 59, and then got fouled as this shot dropped in for his 61st point of the night. With the crowd going crazy, Chris still had a free throw to shoot. But with his grandfather on his mind, Chris airballed the shot, walked to the bench, and into the arms of his parents.
The last free throw, I just remember, I got an and one, so I didn't shoot the last free throw. I threw it out of bounds, and I had 61 points, so that was it.
61 points, just like he set out to do. 61 for every year of his grandfather's life. Chris Paul went on to become an NBA lottery pick, an MVP candidate, and a gold medal winner. But to this day, one night from the fall of 2002 sticks out the most.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest accomplishment, and nothing will ever top that. I won a gold medal, which is good and sweet, but that's not better than scoring 61 for my granddad.
It's time for another break. When we get back, another look back that you're sure to love. And we'll check in on our high school football top 10 as well. We'll be right back.
Here's one. There's one. They're everywhere. Cars with hazy, dull, oxidized headlights. Now you can't see at night. Replacing them can take hours and cost hundreds of dollars. Don't do it. Save time, money, and more. Get Fast Bright Lens Restore. The Lens Restore kit that brings your headlights back to showroom new in as little as 30 seconds. Just wipe it on and wipe it off. And watch the haze turn to crystal clear. It's that easy. This demonstration proves the Fast Bright Restored headlight is over 5 times brighter. That means you'll see and be seen clearer and farther away.
Well, I think it's like night and day. It's unbelievable. It looks like showroom.
It really came out really nice, very fast. Can't wait to do the other one.
Go from an embarrassing ride to a car you would be proud to drive. The secret is Fast Bright Lens Restore's professional formula that removes the outer layer of oxidation. Then it polishes, seals, and protects, leaving you with a showroom new lens in as little as 30 seconds.
It was amazing. It was magic.
We'll be able to see at night now.
Driving with oxidized headlights at night is dangerous. With Fast Bright, you'll see everything clear and bright, and everyone will see you at night. Cars, trucks, and vans all restored to showroom new in as little as 30 seconds. This professional headlight restoration guy wants to charge you $100. Do it yourself in as little as 30 seconds with Fast Bright Lens Restore for just $20. Call right now and we'll cut the price in half. You get the complete Fast Bright Lens Restore Kit for just $10. But to make this the best deal on TV, we'll double the offer so you can restore your sons, daughters, and family's headlights to showroom new in as little as 30 seconds. Just pay separate processing and handling. You'll get 2 complete Fast Bright Lens Restore Kits, an amazing $40 value for only $10. Call or click now.
Call 1-800-930-7151 to order your Fast Bright Lens Restore and receive the double offer. You get 2 complete kits for just $10. Call 1-800-930-7151 or log on now.
Future Phenoms is brought to you by American Family Insurance. Your dream is out there. Go get it, we'll protect it.
High school stars dream of playing in one of the nation's top all-star games. Every week we feature one student athlete who is working to get to the game. Here's this week's featured player.
Get to the Game, powered by American Family Insurance. Derek Green, perhaps the best running back in his class, has always been a physical presence.
He was on offensive line because he was a little chubby kid, and they used to call him Boomer, they say, because when he hit people, it was like boom, the kids would be laid out.
The first time we saw Derek Green was as an 8th grader. Like most young kids, everybody wants to be a running back.
Coach Kane said, you could be a linebacker, we don't know about running back. He was like, Mom, I like running, so I'm gonna lose the weight.
I cut out all fried foods, no sodas. I was working out 3 days a week. I was 268, got down to 215.
If you want to see Derek Green do something, tell him he can't do something.
Derek has a whole team of supporters helping to protect his dreams.
Derek's relationship with his family is tight. I think that's one of his assets. His mom's already mentioned that wherever he chooses to play football, she wants to move there.
Family is the foundation for us, and Derek has an open line of communication with me.
I see my mom as a leader, so I kind of look up to the things she do. She runs her own business. She's always on time with things, so I put that back into my game and do it when I'm on the field and off the field.
Personal goals are important, but Derek has bigger dreams for his team.
Derek is very quick to smile, quick to laugh, but he's also a very determined athlete, and he wants to do whatever it takes to help his team be successful.
My main goal is to get my team that state championship ring. I think we got a real good chance of getting it this year.
Like any young athlete who's as good as he is, I know he dreams about playing in the NFL. I know he wants to get his college degree first.
And I promised my mother that, so get my degree, play in the NFL for a couple of years.
That's why a kid like Derek kind of sets himself apart, because he has a dream, but he also realizes the steps he has to take to get to that dream as well.
To see more great videos and enter for a chance to win an incredible football experience in New Orleans, go to amfam.com/gettothegame.
In the Midwest, the Minnesota Timberwolves have long struggled to be relevant in the Western Conference, as they have missed the playoffs for 8 straight seasons. But they may now have one of the game's best interior players in Kevin Love, and we brought you his story back in 2006. Here's a look back at our visit with the Love family.
The Rose City, also known as Portland, Oregon, is a place of beauty. From the bridges that give the city its distinctive look to the downtown area, which has buildings equally as unique. Portland is also the home to the North American headquarters of Nike and Adidas. When it comes to basketball, most people think of the Portland Trail Blazers, but that has changed a bit of late, thanks to a player on the south side attending Lake Oswego High School. From an early age, the parents of Kevin Love knew basketball was in his future, starting at the ripe old age of 6 months.
I put the basketball on the tray of the little walker, and and it was just surprising. He was always a very strong, always a big baby, always very strong, and he could shoot that ball at 6 months old from his walker. It's just amazing.
Even when he's in his walker, would have the basketball and try to compete with his older brother Colin, 2 years older, and shoot around and try to keep up with him.
Admittedly, there might be a simple explanation for Kevin's early showing. His father, Stan, is a veteran of the NBA, but that is not what Stan thinks.
Well, your dad this, your dad that, and no, it's not. He's the one that gets the rebounds. He's the guy that has to block the shots, and he's the guy that hits his free throws. He scores points. It's not me.
At first, I really didn't know what to work on. I just knew that I wanted to play and start getting shots up, working on some stuff, dribbling, all stuff like that, and knew what I had to get better at. So as years progressed and my body evolved and everything like that, I just thought, with my size and my skill level and the passion I have with my dad and everything like that, I just knew I was going to play basketball for the rest of my life.
Besides having great skills, Kevin has the right body to play basketball the rest of his life. Now standing 6 foot 10 inches tall, it seemed like he got there at an amazing rate.
He grew 6 inches one year. He was always really large. He was always almost as big as his brother, who's 2 years older than him, ever since I can remember, since he was 2. He just was huge. It was 6th grade. He grew 6 inches that year. At school, they had to bring in a special desk for him because he didn't fit in the little desks that they had, and so they had a big table for him and a big chair so he could be comfortable.
Being comfortable on the court, well, that's never been a problem for Kevin. From high school to AAU, Kevin has always found a way to fit in.
With the AAU circuit, he started so young that, he really got the head start on everybody else. I think the thing that sets me apart is that, like I said, I'm a self-starter, but also that I work harder than most people. That's just, what I do and what I believe in, that hard work pays off, and that's a thing Michael Jordan always said, and, really what I think most people believe in, and definitely I believe in.
Kevin and his family are no stranger to hard work and no stranger to success. Well, you see, Kevin's uncle is Mike Love, the lead singer for the Beach Boys.
I went over and visited a couple friends, and one of them had a jukebox in his house, and Kevin started playing Beach Boy music. And I said to him, "Hey, Kevin, I thought you didn't really care for that. It wasn't your kind of music." And he goes, "Oh, Dad, I like them now."
But it's not Uncle Mike that Kevin tries to emulate. Rather, a different Southern Cal native.
Definitely. I'd say Elton Brand from the Los Angeles Clippers is the guy I emulate. I mean, he's like a role model. He's just a great guy all around. I mean, he went to Duke, and how he shaped up and how much money he gets paid now and how much he gives back. He's just a great guy and a great player, and that's really who I model myself after.
Like Brand, his game has continued to get better with age.
Since his sophomore year, he's been considered among the top 5 to 10 prospects in this class. Unlike O.J. Mayo, who seems recently to not be excelling as much as he has in the past, he's kind of plateaued and maybe hit a wall a little bit. Kevin just continues to ascend, and he continues to get better and better.
Strong, as he does so often.
That effort helped Lake Oswego bring home the Oregon State Championship.
This year especially, he's really taken his game to a whole nother level. After he's been working out a lot, and some of the shots he hits now, he has a fadeaway banker, and he's got some stuff that I've never seen him hit before, and especially back at this ABCD camp. He really showed some people some stuff that not a lot of people have seen out of a big guy like that.
His continued growth has meant an end to the one-on-one games that Kevin played with his father.
I used to play him from the 5th, 6th, 7th, and in the 8th grade I stopped playing him because he learned how to hold the ball up high and do his little spin move. And he could tag you pretty good. So I actually, instead of getting hurt, I stopped playing because he can really do some damage if he wants to.
In Oregon, Kevin is a force few can handle. In fact, it took a center from Indiana to give him some serious competition.
The person that was toughest going up against the kid, well, he's a man now because he's so big, was Greg Oden. Last year at ABCD camp, I mean, he was just a monster, and I decided to go to ABCD camp to play against him because he was so big and so looked up upon in the whole country and the media and everything. He was really tough. I mean, he battled me, crushed me. He gave me a lot of things to work on and showed what I need to improve on.
From most people's point of view, there is not much Love has to improve on. Even his maturity and compassion seem to be years ahead of him.
Kevin always took the part of when other kids were feeling down to make them feel better. Or if there was a child with a disability, going over to that child with a disability and making them feel special because he knows that he's special.
Now let's move over to high school football and take a look at this week's top 10. We'll take our last break, but be sure to come back to see how you can be a part of the show.
Jim is 38, mortgage, married, 3 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. Jim can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $19 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll comparison shop the pick of insurance companies like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. Jim's wife, Deidre, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Future Phenoms is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer for great deals today or log on to www.buyatoyota.com.
It's time to check the mailbag for this week's viewer submission. This week's tape comes from Mike Williams in Easton, Pennsylvania. Williams plays center for Notre Dame Green Pond High School. The 6'6", 295-pound lineman is a 3-year starter. He has interest from several schools in the Northeast, but he says his dream is to play in the Big Ten. Would you like to be featured on the show? Send us a DVD. Our address is 3575 Lone Star Circle, Suite 116, Fort Worth, Texas, 76177. That's all for today's show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Future Phenoms is brought to you in part by...
We all have dreams, but dreams, well, they don't come easy. That's why I put in these hours. Pick up those late night shifts. I know my hard work will pay off. Because I dream of sending my kids to college.